What's up, traders? Welcome back to the channel. So we're at the end of week 5 of the one-step 100K challenge with FundedNext. Now, if you've watched the previous episodes, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, it's been all red weeks except for one. So last week, week 4, was the first green week. Very small, but it's still a green week. But unfortunately, week 5, there's been another losing week. So the account is now down to a minus 5%. Now, for those who know, FundedNext one-step challenge is a 6% max drawdown. The good thing about that, it's not a trailing drawdown. It's a 6% max and it's static. So on this 100K account, that 6% max drawdown is actually at the 94,000 mark. So right now the account is sitting at 95,000. So with my risk model, there's approximately 4 trades remaining until this count is blown. So I'm not going to be doing a reset. I'm not going to be doing, full tilt. I'm going to go full leverage, full risk on the next trade and hope that I can draw myself out of drawdown. No, that's not how you develop long-term skills as a trader. The number one skill, if you ask me, is having the ability to pull yourself out of drawdown. Now, with funded accounts, a lot of people, it's a privilege to be able to trade funded accounts, right? So a lot of people just treat it as if this is all they're ever going to trade. Is this a funded account? So they buy more challenges, size up way too quickly. The account gets low, they size up trying to get lucky, get home run trades. Now, if you did that, if you had that same mentality on a real live account, you'll be broke, you'll lose everything. So the way, in my opinion, the way you've got to trade these funded accounts is to build the skill set so that you can eventually, or maybe not eventually, so you can, alongside your funded account, trade your own live capital, because that's where the real freedom and flexibility is, right? By having your own account, making profits, withdrawing them whenever you want, having your own strategy, your own max loss, your own risk, all that stuff. Trading a live account is always going to be the better option, but only when you've proven yourself time in, time again, profitable, and you now are okay to bear that risk of losing your actual account. So with me, with this FundedNext challenge, $560, I think it was US, so right, 900 Australian dollars. Yeah, it's still 900 bucks, but if I lose it, I need to lose 900 bucks. I'm capped, right? If I put $10,000 into a trading account and I haven't built the skill set to try to draw myself out of drawdown, then you'll eventually lose the whole amount. You'll lose that 10 grand. So when I eventually go to trading live capital all the time, I would need to be able to have that skill set of being able to, manage your emotions when you're in a drawdown, manage your emotions when you're having a losing streak, when you're having a winning streak, all those things. And the best way to do it is to trade your funded account like you would trade a live account. Like too many of these gurus, successful traders, right, are talking about just going full tilt or 2%, 3% risk on a trade to pass your challenge as quick as possible. That's what these guys are saying. Is that how you would trade your live account? No, of course you wouldn't. So they're doing an injustice to the trading community by telling you to trade your account that way, or telling you to trade your prop accounts that way. There needs to be full disclaimers around that, right? You want to be trading that prop account like you would be trading your live account. So although I'm at a 5% loss, and I'm feeling pretty shit about it, to be honest, of course. Now I want to read a little journal extract from throughout the week so you can understand the thoughts and where I'm coming from. But just let's put some context to it. I've been trading for years, funded multiple times, right? Now, my most recent position was a full-time trader for a fund here in Australia, right? I've left so I can trade for myself, right? So I know how to trade. Yet I'm now in the middle of a losing streak. I'm having this challenge where it's just, I'm not trading well, right? And some people might say it's market conditions. Yeah, it's a bit of market conditions, but the best traders can handle poor market conditions and adjust risk accordingly, stay out of the markets when they need to stay out of the markets, right? So this is not just the markets that have done this to me. this is the way I've traded it, right? Yeah, I've stuck to my strategy 100%. So my risk, as you can see, my risk, I've literally stuck to the exact risk model that I would stick to, which is why this account has lasted so long after having a number of losses. So my risk model, my risk management is on point. I'm very proud of that. But in terms of the trading, the edge, execution, it's regardless of my background and the position I was recently in, I'm questioning myself, you know, as in like I'm a beginner all over again. So I want to read this to you so you can see, and it's not just the beginners who have these thoughts. It's the traders who have been trading for years, the ones that know what they're doing, that have these self sabotaging beliefs, not being confident in themselves. So all of us go through it. So this is a journal article, or just a journal extract I wrote on, it was last week. So the first thing I say is unwarranted, I'm feeling hopeless. So the reason I said unwarranted is because I know that even though I'm feeling these thoughts, I know it's unwarranted because um, I know what I'm doing. So I know what I'm doing, yet I'm still having these thoughts. So when I'm writing this, I'm already saying unwarranted, I'm feeling hopeless. And then I go on to say, taking a loss today is not a bad thing. It makes it harder after taking one last night, two, while I was sleeping as well, along with having two take me out at break even after they were in profit. I know I just need to stay disciplined and I will experience a win streak. I do feel like that I'm back at square one right now in my trading skills. I know this is not correct too, but I get into this self destructive self talk when I beat myself up over the head. Why do I do that? I believe it all comes back to my basketball days. I'm still punishing myself for giving up on the US and the potential career I had, which I'll go into actually and talk about that. But yes, I go on to say there's no doubt my edge works. I'm just figuring out how to make it more profitable. My first idea is aiming for a 1 to 4-ish reward with a smaller stop loss. All I need is a 3 out of 10, and it's a 5R winning strategy. A 2 out of 10 win loss, and it's a break even strategy. It does deliver that. So I'm saying my strategy does deliver that. Hell, sometimes it delivers 50%. So although in this extract I start up with saying I'm questioning everything, I'm questioning my skills, I'm questioning my ability as a trader, I'm then really quickly back on saying I know I can do this. Like there's no doubt my edge works. So it's almost that I'm talking myself through it. Even though I'm having these thoughts, I'm talking myself through it and helping myself helping myself realize that, hey Tony, you can do it. You know how to trade. You just need to stick with it. Stay disciplined, right? So, but the confidence, like my confidence gets shaken up really bad, and I start to beat myself up and start punishing myself. And I mentioned the basketball days, and I think, well, not I think, like for a good 10, 15 years, no joke, I beat myself up about the fact that I my whole high school career in basketball, I was just getting better and better and better and better to the point where I was unstoppable. Living in Australia, I had offers for scholarships in America. I was in the professional development squad here in Brisbane, called the Brisbane Bulls. I was in a development squad. This is back in high school, so around the 1998, 99 years. Um, and it was everything I wanted. And I had this path I achieved. I got that scholarship. I went over to America to play basketball. I made my mark here in Australia and I went over there. And within 4 or 5 months, I quit and I left. Right? I was 17 years old. And this is a long time ago, right? This is 1999. But long story of why I left, but I left and I didn't touch a basketball for almost 2 years, right? Honestly, I did not even touch it. I just did not even want to look at it. And from that day on, after then, I went down the path of partying, not necessarily drugs, but I was just drinking. I was just not looking after myself. And it was just a spiral of poor me, poor me. The world's unfair. And why did this happen to me? Rather than taking accountability, but not even that, just looking into and understanding why I left, but just even to say the word quit just churns in my stomach. But I know I quit, and it's something I quit when I had the path. Right, I had that path. I was training with ex NBA players that had me on this path, and I quit. And because of that, I've got this belief system in my head that you don't deserve any of this, Tony. You don't deserve to be wealthy. You couldn't make it as a basketball player because of you quit. I had the best work ethic you could ever seen, but I quit. And it's like I'm just beating myself up over it. And every time something like this, I go into a spiral or a losing streak, my confidence starts to that negative side of me, that that Tony who is angry at what he did to his basketball career, comes back and comes on my shoulder and starts talking shit to me and says, "You can't do this. You can't do this. You know, you never. You know, all these kind of self-sabotaging beliefs." And I believe that these challenges in my psychology and that confidence that gets rattled up when I'm on a losing streak comes from that trauma that I had in that basketball career. Because like when I write a journal article, I know that losing streaks are normal. So I understand all these things, but yet my brain, that trauma just continues to, it tries to ignore the reality that I know that losing streaks are normal. And it will just beat on me and say, "You're not good enough. You suck. You've been doing this for so many years, and look at you. You're not where you want to be. Look at all these other people who are 2, 3 years in and they're making 400 grand a year." You know, as we see, it's social media, but you start comparing yourself. Other people could do it. Other people didn't quit their dreams playing basketball. Other people could handle it. You couldn't handle it. You see what happens? So this is the psychology that goes, even though it's not even about trading, it comes into my trading. And I just have to like, it's a battle. Journaling, writing this shit down is just a way for me to talk myself through it. And it's almost like a self therapy where you realize those thoughts aren't actually accurate just by writing it out and thinking about when you're writing it. So this has helped a lot, and this is something I'm writing in every single day, or haven't been doing every single day, but it's, you know, every odd day. But I want to make it an effort to do it, writing it every single day, just because I do know it helps. But in terms of the trading, like if I blow this, that's fine. There's no that's fine, because like the best traders, I mentioned Dan Chung, CEO of CK Capital, and he's a trader. Like I think he had like a whole month or two where he was just, I think it was like 6 weeks actually, where it was just losing. This guy makes $1 million a year trading, and he recently lost all these prop firm challenges. He lost um, funded accounts, and this guy's a professional trader that does it for a living. So like I know that if I do blow this account, I just got to stick with it. I'm not going to strategy hop. I'm perfecting it. I'm tweaking. You got to do that. If the market warrants, you need to do that. But hey, look, he's a professional trader, and he goes through losing streaks. He might have a month or 2 months where it's negative, and then he'll have 8 killer months, and then he might have 2 break-even months, right? So reminding myself like that. This is why, like, it's me versus me. But when you look at things online and you're comparing yourself to others, it's okay to look at what other people are doing, but get it for inspiration and understanding rather than getting jealous, right? So when I look at Dan, I look at him and the challenges he goes through to feel comforting that, hey, he's a professional trainer. He goes through what I'm going through. So um, there's a lot of it's a big battle. It's a big emotional battle going through this. But the account's not blown. I've got myself out of big drawdowns before. It's been done before. And you know, if I can pull this out, if I can pull this off, right, that's gonna, you know, make that confidence to the next level where it's gonna be unshakable. But there'll be times where I'll lose funded accounts in this journey, and I'll try to get extra funding, I'll get another challenge, and I'll lose that challenge. That's okay. And when I talk about this and I say that's okay, I know it's okay. But when I do lose it, I feel like it's not okay. Even though I know it's okay, that little that little pussy Tony from the past, that bitter Tony will be the one, be that part of me that's saying, you know, you shouldn't be having losing streaks. You should be winning every single month. It's like, so it's like this continual battle. It's like bipolar. We're all bipolar in terms of we've got a good and we've got an evil inside of us. One's talking positive and one's talking negative. And there's a constant battle to be able to have that positive side of you be triumphant over the negative side of you. So I'm going to keep on training this account. If I pull it out of drawdown, great. If it hits max loss, great. I'm going to get another account, right? I'm going to keep trading. It's not going to change. So I'm not even going to bother showing the dashboard today. I might do a screenshot, but like, no, I will, just so there's something actually on here to show that the account is down 5%. I don't want to be lying and people say, no, well, they didn't show his dashboard this time. I'm showing it all, right? I'm showing it all. So I'll quickly go into it, show that dashboard so you can see it's down 5%. It's Wednesday as I'm recording this, so I've already had a couple of trades this week. There's been one nice winner and a couple of losses, so I'm a little bit in profit for the week so far. But overall, you'll be able to see the dashboard and the status that it's at, right? But if you're enjoying this content, or if you just want to see how this challenge turns out, please like and subscribe. Send me a comment, put a comment in the chat, or even just message me on Instagram. It's Tony Strugar Trades. So peace out, guys. All right, so here we're looking at the dashboard. You can see FundedNext. Once again, I'll do all this stuff, right? Tony Strugar, initial balance, 100K, one step, 100K. Swap, this means it's a swap account, so I pay for swap fees, which are the overnight holding costs. Now you can see it's still an active challenge. Daily loss, yep, ongoing, past the minimum trading days. All right, so you can see it's down 4.91%. As I said, week 6, which I'm in now. This is the week 5 recap, but week 6 down 5%. So we're slightly up so far, but yeah, see here, we're 5% down. 5% down for the week. Now, there's been 21 trading days. That's obviously days that I've actually been trading, but that's 5 weeks, guys. It's not over. As I said, I'm going to keep on just trading this account. Nothing going to change. A couple of little tweaks here and there, but overall strategy is the same. And I'm going to get into some winners. I know it. I just know it. And that's that delusion, right? That's a delusional mindset that I'm going to make this. This is the positive Tony coming through right now saying, yep, you can do this. You got this, man. Keep going, to stay focused, and you're going to pull this off. So hopefully you guys are rooting for me as well. But I've got the prop journal, risk calc, 100K. As you guys have seen this plenty of times now. So that's the current balance. Remaining drawdown. Now we've got 300 per trade. Now I have dropped the risk a little bit on the last couple of trades. This week I've dropped it to 100, just because I've had a little bit of had some tweaks, so I don't want to just go full leverage on that right now. Yeah, so same strategy, just a couple of little additions. So that's why I dropped it a bit. But here we go. You got 3. If that's a $300 risk per trade, you got 4 trades left until we hit max drawdown. On a 1 to 3, you have 5 winners in a row. You're back up to 100K. That's just crazy, right? After having all the losses I've had, you just need 5 winners at a 1 to 3, and you're back to break even. What? Right? You have the right risk model. You can pull yourself out of drawdown very easily. Very easily. No resets, just absolute hard work, patience, and execution, and you can get it back. All right, so this is it. This is it, guys. Got my prop journal, everything I'm tracking here, all trades, of course. Got my written journal for psychology journal updates, which I'll share more with you in the other weeks as well. Hopefully this is not going to be the last week of this challenge. Hopefully it's going to be positive, and we'll work our way out of this drawdown. But as you can see, ain't no lying from me. 100% transparent. I'm not going to be fudging shit. You've seen it. I don't edit my videos. If I make an error, whatever, I make an error. I don't care. It's like, this is raw, right? This is just raw content. But guys, I'll leave it there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in next week's update. Peace.